Hello and welcome to Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us take a look at the headlines first. India's Mars orbiter team to be awarded the 2015 Space Pioneer Award. S. Kiran Kumar declared the new and 8th chairman of ISRO. Plants native to India under the threat of climate change. Pomegranate juice increases lifespan. IISc research on fruit flies shows. And in today's In Focus, we will discuss about fog and how it affects human health and life. And now news in details. Recently, the US-based National Space Society declared India's Mars Orbiter program team as the winners of 2015 Space Pioneer Award. The award will be presented during the International Space Development Conference to be held in Toronto in Canada during May 2015. Here is a report.
A proud moment for the country as the US-based National Space Society, shortly known as NSS, recently declared that India's Mars Orbiter program team has won the 2015 Space Pioneer Award. The team, located in Bangalore and headed by Dr. Malswamy Annadurai, has won this prestigious award in the Science and Engineering category. According to the sources, the Mars Orbiter team has been chosen for the award for accomplishing two significant mission firsts. This includes the fact that Mangalyaan is the first spacecraft that has gone into orbit around Mars on its maiden attempt. Secondly, the spacecraft is in an elliptical orbit with a high apopsis and has a high-resolution camera which is taking full disk color imagery of Mars. These images are immensely aiding researchers in their studies on understanding the planet. The award will be presented to an ISRO representative during the National Space Society's 34th International Space Development Conference to be held in Toronto, Canada during 20th to 24th May 2015. The announcement of the prestigious award by NSS is indeed a proud moment for the entire nation. India's Mars Orbiter mission, more commonly known as the Mangalyaan, is indeed one of the most successful scientific feats in the field of space science and has created a historical milestone. Previously, celebrating the success of Mangalyaan, the famous Time magazine had listed the spacecraft among the 25 best inventions of 2014, calling Mangalyaan a super smart spacecraft, and that the success of Mangalyaan is a rare technological feat that makes India a superpower in the area of space technology.
S. Kiran Kumar, Director of Space Applications Centre in Ahmedabad, has been appointed as the 8th chairman of ISRO. Dr. Kumar will succeed Dr. K. Radhakrishnan, who retired on 31st of December last year. Here's a report.
While the ISRO research team won the prestigious Space Pioneer Award for 2015, ISRO also got a new chairman. On 12th January 2015, the centre appointed Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, the Director of Space Applications Centre, Ahmedabad, as the new chairman of the Indian Space Research Organisation. Following the appointment, Dr. Kumar will also serve as the Secretary of the Department of Space and the Chairman of Space Commission. Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar is the 8th chairman of ISRO and succeeds Dr. K. Radhakrishnan, who retired on 31st December 2014. Following Dr. Radhakrishnan's retirement, Secretary of the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Sri Shailesh Nayak, was given the additional charge of ISRO till the appointment of a new head. Dr. Kumar, who is 62 years old, is one of the senior-most scientists of ISRO. Dr. Kumar, a physics graduate from the National College of Bangalore University and a double postgraduate with an MTech from the Indian Institute of Science in Physical Engineering, Dr. Kumar started his ISRO career with the Space Applications Centre, that is SAC, in 1975. He has been serving as the Director of the Electro-Optical Systems Group at SAC since April 2012. Dr. Kiran Kumar is known to be an exceptional scientist who played a crucial role in developing image sensors for Bhaskara, India's first remote sensing satellite launched in 1979. He is also credited with developing key components of India's Chandrayaan-1 and Mangalyaan missions. he has made immense contributions to the development of ocean floor instruments used in weather forecasting, sea zone, landscape mapping and telecommunications, and also dissemination of knowledge through articles and lectures. For his outstanding contribution towards promoting space science in India, he was awarded the Padma Shri in 2014. Under the new and able chairmanship, the country looks forward to newer research and continued success from ISRO like before.
A research report recently published suggests that India's native plants are largely threatened by the phenomenon of climate change. Now, the study has been undertaken by Dr. Vishwas Sudhir Chitale from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur.
India is a land of rich biodiversity and home to hundreds of rare endemic plants native to the country. But now, an alarming new study reports that the endemic native plants of India, which are found only in certain geographic locations in the country, are under the huge threat of climate change. The report comes from a study undertaken by Dr. Vishwas Sudhir Chitale, researcher at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. The study is based on computer models which predict the future distribution of 637 endemic plant species in 3 biodiversity hotspots in India, namely the Himalayas, Western Ghats and Indo-Burma for the years 2050 and 2080, taking 2010 as the base year. The results suggest that plant species in these parts will be adversely impacted even with a moderate change in the climate. According to the study's findings, future distribution of plant species is likely to shift to the northern and northeastern directions in the Himalaya and Indo-Burma hotspots and in the southern and southwestern directions in Western Ghat hotspots due to cooler climatic conditions in these regions. The model used in the study predicts a 23.99% range reduction and a 7.70% range expansion in future distribution by 2050. By 2080, there will be a 41.34% range reduction and a 24.10% range expansion. The results of the study is published in the journal called PLOS One. India is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world and has about 11% of the world's flora concentrated in about 2.4% of the global land mass. With these findings, it is clear that if India is to save hundreds of endemic plant species from extinction, we may need to resort to interventions such as assisted migration and expansion of existing protected areas.
Recently, Indian Institute of Science, the Transdisciplinary University and Foundation for Revitalization of Local Health Traditions conducted a study to understand the effect of pomegranate juice on fruit flies. According to the study, fruit flies fed with pomegranate juice were resistant to some diseases and they also lived longer. To know more about the study, let us see this report.
Doctors and researchers worldwide acclaim the health benefits of fruits and fruit juices. Even in ancient Indian texts, Ayurveda proposes the use of variety of fruit juices to heal and rejuvenate. Now, reviving the knowledge of these ancient texts, researchers of the Indian Institute of Science, the Transdisciplinary University and Foundation for Revitalization of Local Health Traditions has proved that pomegranate juices increase longevity. The collaborative study is based on an ancient Ayurvedic concept called Rasayana that deals with methods to rejuvenate, improve the quality of life and delay aging. Ayurveda prescribes pomegranate for its different curative properties. In this study, a species of fruit fly called Drosophila melanogaster was grown with 2 different diets, a routine nutrient medium and another supplemented with pomegranate juice. The number of offspring produced was 2 times higher in the flies grown with pomegranate juice. The study is published in the journal Frontiers in Public Health. Pomegranate, a commonly available edible fruit, is known to have many health benefits. Studies show that it is the most powerful antioxidant of all fruits and has potent anti-cancer and immune-supporting effects. The juice is known to be rich in nutrients and lowers cholesterol and blood pressure and other cardiac and stroke risk factors. Pomegranate is beneficial to relieve or protect against depression and osteoporosis. Previous published studies have shown that pomegranate juice has potential therapeutic applications for curing cardiovascular disease, diabetes, dental conditions, etc.
And now it is time to take a short break. We'll be right back. Keep watching Science Monitor. Fog is a much familiar phenomenon, almost synonymous to winters and all over the news recently. Trains and flights running late due to reduced visibility, increased incidence of respiratory problems are all side effects of fog. But what is fog and how is it formed and how does it affect human lives? Well, this will be the topic of our discussion in today's segment In Focus.
Cold winter mornings when the surroundings seem wrapped in white is a familiar sight to most of us. With temperature dipping in the northern part of India, recently all the news channels are abuzz with reports of delay and cancellation of trains and flights because of the fog. Though we are all aware of the phenomenon called fog, how many of us actually know about the science behind such phenomenon? What is fog? For simple understanding, fog can be considered a cloud at ground level or a type of low-lying cloud. Fog is made up of condensed water droplets or ice crystals suspended in the air at or near the Earth's surface. Fog is formed when the air carrying moisture is cooled to the threshold point called the dew point, where it can no longer hold all the water vapor it contains. Fog is generally formed when there is 100% humidity in the air. When this air near the ground cools to dew point, the water vapor in the air condense around dust and salt particles present in the air and become visible as fog in the air. When the humidity of fog attains 100% and the minute cloud droplets begin to join into larger droplets, the fog may cause precipitation or drizzle. Formation of fog is heavily influenced by nearby bodies of water, topography, wind conditions, and even human activities. Advection fog occurs when moist air passes over a cool surface by advection and is cooled. Precipitation fog, also called frontal fog, forms as precipitation falls into drier air below the cloud. The liquid droplets evaporate into water vapor. The water vapor cools and at the dew point it condenses and fog forms. Hail fog sometimes occurs during hailstorms due to decreased temperature and increased moisture, leading to a saturation in a very shallow layer near the surface. It most often occurs when there is a warm, humid layer atop the hail and when wind is light. This ground fog tends to be localized but can be extremely dense and abrupt. Another type is the ice fog, where the droplets freeze into very tiny crystals in mid-air. This type of fog forms when the air temperature is well below freezing, generally below zero, so that any vapor present almost immediately condenses. Water bodies greatly influence the formation of fog and often results in the formation of lake fog, river fog, and sea fog. While fog is associated with romanticism by the entertainment industry, fog greatly and adversely affects the day-to-day life of humans. Depending on the concentration of the water droplets, visibility in fog can range from the appearance of haze to almost zero visibility. Dense fog often results in serious accidents. According to reports, many lives are lost each year worldwide from accidents involving fog conditions on the highways. The railway and aviation industries are the two sectors worst affected by fog, which due to safety issues operate when fog-like conditions lift. Fog also influences other human activities such as shipping and trade. A very serious side effect of fog is the formation of smog. Smog is basically derived from the merging of two words, smoke and fog. Smog refers to the yellowish or blackish fog which has smoke or soot in it. Smog is formed mainly by a mixture of pollutants in the atmosphere which consists of fine particles and ground-level ozone. Fog, in particular smog, is known to have adverse effects on human health, most common being allergies like asthma. Smog often causes minor problems like irritation in the eye, cold and chest congestion to serve pulmonary diseases like pneumonia, inflammation of lung tissues, and lung cancer. While these are the harmful effects of fog, it is interesting to note that some animals, including insects, depend on wet fog as a principal source of water, particularly in otherwise desert climes as along many African coastal areas. Some coastal communities where groundwater pumping and rainwater collection are insufficient, people also use special fog nets to extract moisture from the atmosphere.
And what are the contributions of science to this week's history? We shall learn in our next segment, History of Science.
18th January 1825 is the birth date of renowned British chemist Sir Edward Franklin. He is considered as one of the originators of organometallic chemistry. Under this concept, atoms' elementary substance have a definite saturation capacity so that they can only combine with a certain limited number of atoms of other elements. James Watt, a Scottish inventor, was born on 19th January 1736. Watt is known for his invention of steam engine. In 1764, Watt brought about improvements to the Newcomen steam engine by adding a separate condenser to it, thereby avoiding excess loss of steam and improving the power, efficiency and cost-effectiveness of steam engines. American astronaut and the second man to set foot on the moon, Edwin Eugene Aldrin, was born on 20th January 1930 in New Jersey. Aldrin was a mechanical engineer and was selected by NASA for the Apollo 11 mission. He accompanied Neil Armstrong in the mission and was the second lunar module pilot. On 22nd January 1775, renowned French physicist and mathematician André-Marie Ampère was born. He is considered as the father of electrodynamics as he showed how two parallel wires carrying electric currents attract or repel each other depending upon the direction of the flow of currents. Ampere, the SI unit of measurement of electric current, is coined after him. On 23rd Jan 1960, man's dive to the deepest place on the earth was made possible with the support of Trieste, a manned deep diving research vessel, that is bathyscaphe. Hydronauts Jacques Piccard and John Walsh were able to travel to the bottom of the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean after a journey of 5 hours. They spent 25 minutes on the sea floor and observed life at the bottom of the ocean, which was an amazing discovery in itself at that time.
Let us now have a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our segment Science Express.
Recently addressing a seminar on low-carbon pathways for growth in India in New Delhi, British Foreign Secretary Special Representative for Climate Change Sir David King said that India's rapid economic growth would fuel energy demand and urged it to explore a range of energy alternatives. Speaking on the occasion, King stressed the usefulness of 2047 calculator in planning the economics around energy infrastructure and elaborated on how the adoption of 2047 calculator will help India plan its energy future. Further adding to India's rich biodiversity, a research team from S&M College Kerala has reported the discovery of 3 new plant species from the Poyamkutti Edamalaya region in the state. The study, which is a part of a UGC-sponsored project on flowering plants of Ernakulam district, headed by Associate Professor C.N. Sunil, has resulted in the identification of a shrub named Thotia adichil thotiana and 2 grasses called Arundinella pradeepiana and Garnothia variamensis. The Bhabha Atomic Research Center has invited applications from engineering graduates and science postgraduates for enrollment in its flagship program orientation course for engineering graduates and science postgraduates in the BARC Training School. The online applications for the same are available online since 6th January. Last date of application is 6th February 2015. The training program aims to ensure that the trainee scientific officers are provided with the necessary facilities and opportunities to acquire knowledge and develop skills in R&D pertaining to nuclear science and technology. Training is provided at Mumbai, Kalpakkam, Indore and Hyderabad. For more details, visit www.doc.gov.in/career/. In an interesting new study, scientists have tried to solve the mystery behind zebra stripes, leading to evidence that there is a strong correlation between temperature and striping. Under the study, scientists have tried to quantify the characteristics of stripes on zebras at 16 sites across the animal's range and have examined 29 environmental factors including temperature, predation and biting flies, searching for an association. It has been seen that in areas with the lowest seasonal temperatures, zebras have fewer and fainter stripes. WHO has announced that in 4 weeks, tests to assess the potency of Ebola vaccines could begin in West Africa. The trials are to be conducted in Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea. Liberia will do a randomized control trial with 3 arms, each including about 9,000 people. One will receive the GSK vaccine, the second the Merck vaccine, and the third will form a control group that receives neither. Sierra Leone will do a so-called stepped wedge design in which some groups receive the vaccine earlier than others. Guinea will test using ring vaccination in which a group of people around an Ebola patient is vaccinated. In an interesting new discovery, researchers have unearthed the fossil of an ancient fish from Siberia that is believed to be the last common ancestor of the 2 groups of fishes, namely cartilaginous fish and bony fishes. Researchers used micro-CT scan to study the inside of the head of fish fossil and have concluded that it shows features from both cartilaginous and bony fishes. The fish has been named Janusisca schulzei, and scientists say that this fish is the last common ancestor of cartilaginous fishes and bony fishes before these groups diverged more than 420 million years ago. The government has approved Rs 996 crore investment proposal of Bengaluru-based Central Power Research Institute. The funds will be utilized to meet the growing needs of research and development in the Indian power sector, including development of advanced testing facilities. The main facilities proposed to be set up or augmented under the approved projects include short-circuit test facilities, transmission tower test facility, facilities for switchgear testing and development, facilities for testing of transformer oil, relocation and augmentation of Thermal Research Center at Nagpur, and Smart Grid Research Laboratory. Dr. M.Y.S. Prasad, Director of Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sri Harikota Range, has been selected for the prestigious Vikram Sarabhai Memorial Award to be presented by the Indian Science Congress Association. Dr. Prasad has been selected for his outstanding contributions to R&D in the field of space science. The award will be presented in a function in the Indian Science Congress Association to be organized soon.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, that is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV and think scientific.